down, but we get up, right? And I remember when that song, I Just Got Chills, first came out, it made me think about all the times that I had fallen and not necessarily fallen publicly. And people didn't get to see my disappointment, my shame, my transgressions, me doing stuff that I had no business doing. But each and every single time I was forgiven and I was given a second chance. So I'm one of those people that I really believe in second chances. I made a post today that anything short of rape, molestation, or murder, and even with the murder part, depending on what had happened, I just believe that anybody can come back from in my book. So tonight we're going to talk about love after lockup. And I'm going to bring up someone because she is now in the position, we're actually business partners. We're doing some business together. And I learned that her fiance, soon-to-be husband, was actually locked up. And for me, what I loved most about it was she wasn't ashamed. She wasn't running from it. It was like this badge of shame or disrespect. It was what it was. So I want to start off by asking you, did you guys meet before he was incarcerated, while he was incarcerated, or after he was incarcerated?
So the crazy part is that we actually met while he was incarcerated. I did not know him prior to his incarceration. I did not know him. I met him while he was in prison. He was in federal prison. He had a 13-year bid, and I met him when he was in year 5. So that's how we met. That's the look.
Okay, I'm allowed to ask how you met him.
Yep, so we met on Facebook, and he had a cell phone while he was in there. And honestly, at the time, I was coming out of a different relationship, and I was in a space where I remember praying, and I said that my next boyfriend, I want to be celibate. I prayed this. I didn't pray for anybody in prison or in jail or whatever. I had never even talked to anybody in jail. That's something that I really frowned upon, honestly.
But coming out of a relationship and all of this drama that I was always in, I knew that my next situation, I wanted to get to know the person. I wanted to know them first before I chilled with them, laid with them, slept with them. And I remember telling myself, like, hey, if he doesn't want to wait for me, if he doesn't want to wait to get intimate, then he's not for me. So long story short, met on Facebook. He had a cell phone. I was working at this night job. I was making like $13 an hour. Wasn't really making a lot of money at this night job.
Just trying to make ends meet, single mom. And I thought I was playing around with this dude because he was in jail. And he talking about he got 6 years left. I said, yeah, right. And so I lied about my name. And he was just real serious. He was very serious. And I had to stay up at night. And he could only pull his phone out at night, when everybody sleep. And so that was the perfect time for us to talk. But we did that every single night. And so we began to stimulate each other's mind on so many levels. So we did that for
So, okay. He was in prison. But do you know, back in the day, I used to believe that the best relationships were long-distance relationships because the physical part of the relationship was put on hold because two people were so far away from each other. When you're in close proximity, it's like the physical is what people lead with first. And I just remember when I was a young girl, especially when I was in college, I thrived off of wanting to have a relationship that was long distance because just like you said, it gave you the opportunity to stimulate each other's mind, to really get to know each other because he locked up, he couldn't get out. But here's my thing. At what point did you say, okay, he's locked up, he has a long bid, I'm going to wait. I'm really going to wait for this man. When did you make a decision I'm going to wait for him to get out of prison?
Man, the crazy part about it is I never consider myself to be waiting for him, honestly. I always told myself that we just got each other at the right time because I was in a space where I was working on myself. So it really just worked out. And so I didn't have a desire to have sex. I didn't have a desire to go out and do date essentially. And so after a while, sometimes, as the years went on, I will say sometimes I did, but I could get real deep, but nobody was topping what he was doing while he was in jail. They wasn't topping what he was doing out here in the real world. I'm gonna just put it like that. And so that was it for me. We had an understanding. We had an understanding. He's like, look, you're free, you're young, I can't tell you, you can't go talk to other people. And to me, I'm like, if something comes about better, then I'm gonna let you know. Basically, that's kind of that was kind of the situation that we had. But I loved what we had. It was just I didn't have a desire to talk to anybody else. So it was more so like it just was working out. I didn't consider myself as waiting. It was what I wanted, because if I wanted something else, I would have went and got it. If that makes sense.
Trying to set up my phone. Sorry, it's falling. Okay. All right. They have a question, and I'm going to go back to a question. Somebody said, "Did you visit him while he was in prison?"
Absolutely, yes. There was a time when first of all, when I first started talking to him, it took a minute for me to get on his visiting list because I had some stuff on my record or whatever. But eventually, so it took maybe like 3 months for me to get on his visiting list. But after that, I would go visit him. I would drive 4 hours every weekend and stay in a hotel. And I would get there. Visiting started at 8 a.m. So I would wake up probably like 5. It took me 4 hours. So maybe like 5 a.m. drive. And I would sit there and we would sit there and we felt like kick it from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. We would eat in the vending machine, and we would literally imagine like we was at a 5-star restaurant eating these little pizzas and grippos out the vending machine.
Wait. I gotta stop. A man that you met on Facebook who on federal time gotta do a long bid. Now you driving 4 hours, like you putting in 4 hours.
Yeah.
To drive to this man.
Yeah, it was really weird.
To him. Every single weekend.
He would give me the rental cars. He would get the rental car.
So there's so many women out there. That's why I turned the comments back on, because I want to know. I don't know how many women would meet a man on Facebook, already incarcerated, and then be that vested in building a relationship like not really
right. And honestly, if you would have told me that, I would have frowned upon it. Like, for real. Like, if somebody else was telling me that prior to my experience, I would have thought she was crazy. And I had never done it before, but we were talking on the phone. Like I said, we talked probably like a good 3 months every night. And I felt like I was in love. And the crazy part about it is I never told anybody because I was embarrassed. So my mom was like, man, you got this glow about you. Like, ooh, you talking to somebody new. Who is he? I want to meet him. People would tell me that, like, who's this new guy? I want to meet him. Ooh, he got you sitting on cloud 9. I could tell. And I'm like, dang, can y'all tell? I never even told anybody. But it was like, okay, well, he's in jail. But the thing is, had I not, of course, then from there, everybody's like, oh, well, maybe not. But prior to that, they could see the change in me. Whether they wanted to accept it or not, I was changing. But once I said that, a lot of people, it wasn't easy.
Okay, fast forward. We've been doing all this time. He getting ready to get released. From right there, from the time he's getting ready to get released out of prison, how long had y'all been dating
6
or
years.
talking? Wait, I just got you. 6 years. You talked to this man on the phone, drove 4 hours every single
all that, like lock up, clink, all that for real, like all the way, 10 toes down.
Different free. Okay, I gotta get to this part because I said I was gonna keep it rolling on the interview. 6 years, we driving back and forth. For those catching up, we met on Facebook. It's time for him to get out of prison. What are the emotions? You have children. He gonna move in your house. He gonna go to the halfway house. Pam Inslee said, "Where is he now, baby? They are engaged." We're gonna get to that part. I done met this man. That's how we even got to this interview. Y'all, I have chills. Y'all don't even understand. So he getting ready to get out. You have children. No intimacy. What are the thoughts and what's the next move? What we getting ready to do?
First of all, while he was in prison, I was doing a lot as far, like, we were building businesses. He put my head onto just entrepreneur mindset and manifestation and manifesting just the life that he wanted, because he's like, although I'm in prison, my mind is not in prison. And so he introduced me to that, which changed my mindset on viewing people in prison in a negative mindset. So we already had a plan onto where we were going to be in 2025, honestly. 2025 was our year of millionaire status, right? We'll be in 2024, right? So when he got out, yes, emotions are crazy through the roof, because long story, I drove to where he was at. I wasn't even supposed to be meeting him. He wasn't supposed to have any contact with anyone. He was supposed to get dropped off
at the halfway house. Of course, I intervened and scooped him somewhere in a different state. And so that was, we was real nervous about that. So we had to drive like 3 hours praying that nothing happened, right? Because we're not supposed to be together. And we get to the halfway house. So yes, he stayed in the halfway house. He was on an ankle monitor. I believe this is like right at the end of COVID. He's in the halfway house, and eventually he had got like ammonia, like double ammonia or something like that. So he was able to get out of the halfway house. He moves into my house. And from there, he got a job. Something that he hadn't done probably in years. He got a job. He was working at Budweiser, driving a trucks, got a CDL license. But then I had already been building businesses myself.
That's where I want to stop. Okay, I don't want to interrupt. Okay. So here's where we're going with this evening, because that was some of the things that attracted me so much to this story. There's a couple things that I want to point out that you said that I want you to hit on that other people can hear. Number one, I have chills. Yo, you don't even understand the chills I have. Number one, you said he began to teach you belief and manifestation. Mm-hmm. So before you guys had even got to touch each other, he was already teaching you and helping you build a mindset of what it was that you guys were going to do together and what you were going to build together. But another strong part that you said was you started building businesses before he even got out of prison. So it was like, listen, we're going to be together, but I'm going to get your mind right, and I'm going to help you build these businesses. Was that the first time that somebody had actually done that for you? Like, was he the first man that taught you how to believe, how to dream, how to manifest, how to put the business acclimate together? I want you to go that way.
Absolutely. I mean, coming from a household, I grew up with my father and everything, but a household where pipe dreams, those are pipe dreams. You can't dream, then you get in a relationship and you believe your self-worth is low. So that's always been my life. My brothers, my father, they all bashed me. So when it came for me dating someone in prison, I felt like, my self-esteem was low, and I was stupid because of the previous relationships that I had went through and the things that I went through, baby mama drama. I was like the crazy baby mom, fighting all the time, in and out of jail myself, honestly. So when I got with him, his thing was, you're not stupid. You're just doing those things for the wrong person, you know. And so, yeah, he completely just changed
My mindset, and it just uplifted me. So boom, I started a nonprofit organization. So everything that was in me, it was kind of like he assisted in pulling it out because it was already in him. He was a hustler. And so I was able to take that mindset that he introduced to me and with my own ideas and visions and then put things together, became a realtor. He's like, you know, you're good with people. You should go be a real estate agent. I'm like, I can't do that. And so his mind, I had the legs. He would always call me his legs. He like, you my legs. So go do this. You know, you my legs. So I was the legs and he was the mind.
And so, yeah, we began building that way while he was in there. Yep.
Wow. Now, I want to take them to how I pointed out with the chills because he's out. So if you guys are wondering, we were just at the Alive convention and I had the opportunity to meet them together as a couple. This is one of the main things that stood out to me that I knew that I wanted to interview you to understand this, to hear other people hear it from that perspective. So she brought a ticket, right, guys, to come to the Alive conference. The regular ticket was $100. So we get to the conference and I get a text message and she says, I want to upgrade to the platinum package. No lies told, the platinum package was $999, basically $1,000. And I was like, I thought she was joking, right? I'm like, it's the day that the convention is starting, but go on the website. If there's some tickets left, you can actually do it. So I'm minding my business. I'm getting ready for a convention. And she sends me this screenshot of her holding the platinum pass. And she's like, I upgraded to platinum. But here's where it changed for me, ladies. This is when everything changed for me. And I knew, number one, she was different. Her mindset was different. And there was something that I needed to know and understand. She said, I upgraded myself and my fiance. Ladies, in that moment, I got a lot of chills. That was strong. Because let me explain to you why. Even for myself as a woman, there have been times when if I'm on go mode and I'm ready to go, or I see the vision, or I see the dream, it's okay. I'll go sit in the front. You can sit in the back. You can chill, relax. You know, I got this. Or, hey, this might not be your thing. You know, go sit over there. Like, even in my previous marriage, if I was doing a business, it was kind of like, okay, it's my business. We're not standing side by side in a partnership. But when you upgraded yourself and said, me and my fiance upgraded, I'm still getting chills. I was like, wait a minute. She knew that as important as it was for her to be in the front of the room, he needed to be in the front of the room. Talk to me about that move, because that right there, that was strong. That taught me a lesson.
First of all, I got to say thank you to you,
Miss Dr. Chanita. No, seriously. Because just really long, first of all, it takes somebody to, sometimes you just need to be continuously poured into to remember who you are and your value. And I just was in that space, right? And so I say thank you to you because you was the one who kind of lit my flame again. Okay, so now that my flame is lit, right, and I'm on fire, right, and I'm like, okay.